Good morning, everyone. You're watching the Indian Investors Forum. This channel is all about making Indian investments, the avenues available for Indian investors to make investments, and all the asset classes available to the Indian investors. Well, in the previous video, we discussed the different asset classes available to the Indian investors and their advantages and disadvantages of different asset classes, and how an investor should build a diversified portfolio by investing in different asset classes to achieve consistent higher returns which beat inflation and also reduces the risk for the investor. Well, in yesterday's video, we discussed about what can be expected in the market. We had mentioned that the Indian stock markets will open with a negative bias and the rupee will be relatively stable as well, and that's what happened yesterday. Well, in today's video, we are going to be discussing the major headlines and price movements which happened yesterday in the Indian markets and what can be expected in today's market action. Well, let's start with the major headlines for yesterday. Number 1. Government of India accepts AP Shah panel recommendations on minimum alternate tax issue to be levied on foreign institutional investors. The finance minister in a press conference confirmed that no minimum alternate tax will be levied on foreign institutional investors prior to 1st of April 2015. This is big news in context of the Indian markets and should help improve investor sentiment going forward. Number 2. People's Bank of China, the Chinese central bank, strengthens the yuan the most since November 2014. Is this a sign that depreciation of yuan has ended? We still think there could be some yuan devaluation going forward, and the central bank is always considered to be more opaque than other central banks globally and like surprising the markets with their moves. Number 3. Chinese manufacturing PMI came in at 49.7. Reading below 50 indicates contraction in the manufacturing, which still makes a case for further policy easing by the Chinese government. Another Chinese manufacturing PMI came in at 47.3. This reading was better than expectations of 47.1 but still indicates a contraction in Chinese manufacturing. The Chinese services PMI came in at 51.5 versus expectations of 53.9, which indicates the service sector of the Chinese economy is also slowing and will put pressure on global growth. Number 4. Christine Lagarde, the managing director of International Monetary Fund, speaking in Jakarta today as part of a two-day visit to Indonesia, said, quote, overall, IMF expect global growth to remain moderate and likely weaker than IMF anticipated it in last July. End quote. These comments will further add to the bearish mood in the global markets and will give bears in the market more reasons to short sell. Number 5. Well, the Nikkei manufacturing PMI for India came in at 52.3 versus expectations of 52.7, which missed expectations by a small margin and indicates the recovery in the Indian economy is still some time away for now at least. Number 6. Credit rating agency Fitch has reduced the Indian financial year 2016 GDP growth forecast to 7.8% from 8% earlier, and for financial year 2017 GDP growth forecast has been reduced to 8.1% from 8.3% earlier. Number 7. Jet fuel prices were cut by 11.6%, which is a big positive for Indian airlines like Jet Airways, SpiceJet, Indigo Airlines, Air India, and other airlines as well, and can also mean lower airfares for consumers. Number 8. International credit rating agency Moody's said today that real estate companies will continue to face slowdown in sales and that real estate developers in Mumbai and New Delhi will be the most affected as high prices of real estate properties in these cities will lead to weaker sales and will affect the overall cash flows of those developers. So does this mean that we can expect price corrections in these markets going forward? Well, the fundamental picture warrants for a price correction as there is no demand and there is ample supply of real estate properties. So it will be interesting to see how the next 12 months pan out for the real estate sector and especially for real estate prices in general. Number 9. Auto sales numbers were released for August. The numbers were a mixed bag as Maruti, Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors, Hero MotoCorp, TVS Motors and Escorts missed forecast, while Ashok Leyland and Eicher Motors exceeded expectations. Well, these were the major headlines for yesterday. Now let's talk about the major price movements in the Indian financial markets yesterday. Bank Nifty has entered bear market. Bear market is defined as any market which declines 20% from the highs that the market had reached in the past. If Bank Nifty keeps declining further, it could result in more broad-based selling across other sectors as well and could take the overall market lower as Bank Nifty and CNX Nifty are highly correlated and most of the time they move in tandem with each other. Well, the sell-off in banking stocks was also due to the fact that reductions in base rates will lead to lower interest margins for the banks and will hurt the profitability of those banks and can result in a re-rating happening in those banking stocks. The Indian stock markets had a big fall yesterday as the benchmark stock indices saw declines of over 2% in yesterday's trading session. The Nifty lost about 185 points and closed at 7,785 points in yesterday's trading session. The Sensex lost about 587 points and closed at 25,696 points in yesterday's trading session. The all sectoral indices saw big declines in yesterday's trading session, with banks and metals losing out the most. The PSU Bank Index saw declines of about 4.5% in yesterday's trading session. The market breadth was also very weak, where 229 stocks saw price gains compared to 1,282 stocks which saw price declines and 46 stocks were unchanged. The biggest losers on the Nifty were banking and metal stocks, with PNB leading the losing stocks with declines of about 7%, and the biggest gainer on the Nifty was Bajaj Auto with a price gain of about 0.9%. Now let's talk about the Indian currency. Well, the Indian currency was quite strong in yesterday's trading session even after the weak sentiment in the stock markets as it was following cues in, of its emerging market currency peers which were all trading with a positive bias. The rupee appreciated by 27 paise from the previous close and closed at 66 rupees and 22 paisa versus the dollars. As we had mentioned in yesterday's video that there can be some short-term strength in the Indian rupee due to dollar selling by exporters. The strengthening of the yuan by the People's Bank of China will also help the rupee in the short term. The yield on the 10-year government securities was around 7.75% when those markets closed for trading yesterday. Well, the commodity markets saw mixed price action in yesterday's trading session. Gold closed up by 192 rupees and closed at 26,874 rupees for 10 grams. Silver had a price gain of about 9 rupees and closed at 34,590 rupees per kg. Crude oil saw a big decline yesterday of 163 rupees per barrel and closed at 3,067 rupees per barrel. Copper lost about 5 rupees and closed at 343 rupees and 70 paise per kg. Nickel lost about 17 rupees and 50 paisa and closed at 650 rupees and 60 paisa per kg. Lead lost about 95 paise and closed at 115 rupees per kg. Zinc lost about 80 paise and closed at 120 rupees and 50 paisa per kg. Aluminium lost about 70 paise and closed at 106 rupees and 45 paise per kg. Natural gas saw a price gain of 1 rupee and 60 paisa and closed at 180 rupees and 30 paisa. So the trading action in commodities yesterday was mixed, with natural gas being the biggest gainer, which was following the global markets, and crude oil being the biggest loser, which saw price losses and was the biggest losing commodity as crude prices globally declined. So these were the biggest headlines and market movements of 1st of September 2015. Well, what can we expect from the market today then? The Indian stock market should most likely open flat to little positive, with a little positive price bias in price action as indicated in the SGX Nifty, which was up about 26 points at the time of making this video. Even though the American and European stock markets closed lower overnight and Asian markets were trading lower, with Japan's Nikkei being an exception, which was trading with a little positive bias. Overnight, Dow Jones Index lost about 470 points and closed at 16,058 points. The S&P 500 index lost about 58 points and closed at 1,914 points. The Nasdaq index lost about 140 points and closed at 4,636 points. The FTSE 100 index lost about 189 points and closed at 6,058 points. The DAX index lost about 244 points and closed at 10,015 points. The CAC 40 lost about 112 points and closed at 4,541 points. Well, one important thing to remember for today is that Indian markets can find support at levels of 7,660 to 7,680 as the minimum alternate tax issue has been resolved, which will help the Indian stock markets, and chances are Indian indices can outperform other global markets today. The Indian rupee should open with a little negative bias today and should trade in a wide range for the day. The rupee should trade in a range of 66 rupees to 66.6 in the spot market. The break of any of those levels can make way for more trending moves in the direction of the levels broken. The Indian rupee can have a little positive bias as there will be some dollar selling by exporters in the short term, and the Chinese yuan has been stabilizing now, with the People's Bank of China appreciating the yuan, which has appreciated more than 1% from the lows it reached on 12th of August 2015. Since the depreciation of the yuan seems to have halted for the time being, that can also be a positive for the Indian rupee till the appreciation trend of the yuan continues. The Nifty should trade in the range of 7,660 to 7,830. At levels of 7,660, bias can be expected in the market, and at levels of 7,830 there could be some selling emerge as well. The break of any of those levels can make way for more trending moves in the directions of the levels broken. The stocks to watch out for the day are Andhra Bank, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, ACC, Ambuja Cement, Federal Bank, Godrej Industries, IDFC, Indian Overseas Bank, Cipla, NTPC, Hexaware, and Power Grid. So everyone, this is my views about what we can expect in today's trading session in the Indian markets and which stocks can have major price movements in the markets. Here at Indian Investors Forum, we are going to help you make the right choices for your investments, when you should invest in equities, real estate, bullion, fixed income, currencies, commodities, so on and so forth, and when you should rotate your investments in different asset classes, because investments is all about timing them correctly to get the best returns out of your portfolio. So please post your comments and queries below for future discussions. Also, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the future videos, and share this video with your friends and family so you can help them make the right investment choices in their life. Thank you for watching this video and see you soon. Goodbye, take care, and happy investing.